Well, ethanol production has recently reached an all-time high. President and CEO of the Renewable Fuels Association, Bob Dinneen, now joins us on the phone to discuss these record numbers. Bob, thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much.
So tell us, what all do you think is contributing to these record numbers?
Well, I think there are two factors. One, gasoline demand is continuing to rise as consumers get back to their cars and start driving more with low oil prices. But the second, and probably the more important reason, is that ethanol remains the single most cost-effective octane enhancer for refiners to utilize. So, we are meeting an increasing demand with a high-value, high-performance motor fuel.
And is sorghum starting to play a bigger role in these numbers as well?
Not really. I would actually think that sorghum use in ethanol plants is probably declining some. We've used a fair amount of sorghum in the past, but with the corn crop last year and the year before that being as robust as they were, corn is still the most significant crop we use for production.
And what about the cellulosic market? Is it becoming viable at all?
Well, it is indeed. There is cellulosic ethanol production today at Quad County corn processors. And even though it's a corn ethanol plant, they were really the first to crack the code and is producing ethanol from cellulose already coming into the plant. DuPont has a facility in Nevada, Iowa as well that is going through the commercialization and certification process. I would anticipate them beginning to produce the juice sometime later this year, and there are several other projects underway as well. Cellulose it's coming. It's here today and growing, just not as quickly as people had hoped.
And of course, what about the export market? Who are our biggest buyers?
Well, Canada remains our largest buyer today, but we are also sending a lot of ethanol to Brazil. We exported to 60 countries across the globe last year. Today, our fastest growing new market is actually China, who this year has already imported about 75 million gallons, which is more than they had imported all of last year.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We certainly appreciate your time. President and CEO of the Renewable Fuels Association, Bob Dinneen, joining us via phone from Washington, D.C.